This is how big the refuge is, this dark spot here. You came from Elizabeth City, which is sort of about right down in here, and you came all the way across the south end of the swamp, and then you came up this west side, and right now you're where that red spot is, so you're about halfway up. It's 111,000 acres, which means it's 20 miles north to south and 8 miles east to west. It's all part of that. There's this side of the refuge here is the Dismal Swamp Canal. And as slaves were looking for their freedom, and they were coming up from the deep south and working their way up what would now be considered the intercoastal waterway, all the networks of rivers and sounds that head north, they would have, as they were digging this canal on the side over here, that gave opportunity for passage. Most of the labor digging that canal was slave labor, even though there were white plantation owners that were being paid for the work. They were actually having slaves out there do the work. And so there was a network of people through this thick forest area. Now, most of the people didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Okay, now there's some historical markers you need to see when you pass Mr. Bowen.
On November the 1st, I met with the Trigg Community School students and some of the faculty and some community members and representatives from the university, and I talked to the students about the Underground Railroad, especially in Northeast North Carolina. We specifically wanted the students to see the Dismal Swamp. Now, it's pretty safe to go out there now, this time of the year. If you go out there during the summer, you have to deal with terrible insects and snakes and bears and things of that nature. But we picked a perfect day. The weather was perfect. It was a little warm. You could see the leaves turning different colors, and the students were able to really see the swamp. We were in probably the middle of the swamp. We were not able to get to not Mill Pond State Park, but Lake Drummond. That should be another trip because the road gets somewhat curvy, so we have to have some small vehicles to go down there. But I think the students were able to get a feel for the swamp. They were probably able to get a feel for it if, imagine what it was like if it's raining, or if it's extremely cold, or especially if it's extremely hot. They also got a chance to see the historical Washington Ditch, where George Washington started the slaves digging out a canal, but that canal was never really finished. That project had to stop. The students also got a chance to go to the Dismal Swamp Canal Welcome Center, and they could actually see the 22-mile-long canal that was dug out by slaves, and it took them 12 years to dig that canal out by hand with shovels and plows, and it was originally opened in 1805, and it is the longest and oldest running canal in the country. So much information on the Dismal Swamp. Anyone can do the research. It's just, you just have to do it. But people have been researching the Dismal Swamp for so long now, and I was really surprised when I came across all of the documents concerning the Dismal Swamp and the information that they have, especially on the number of slaves who actually lived in the swamp, and they stayed there anywhere from 10, 20, 30 years. They actually raised families there, and they actually buried their people there. So it was not just used as a route to get from the south to the north, but it was also used as a permanent home for many people seeking freedom.
We read about the books and stuff that they use for signs and let everybody know what's safe and what's not safe. And I use the log cabin image right here and the North Star on the front.
That means that the slaves could come to that house, and it was safe. It was a safe house. That's what this little guy right here holding the light means. And basically, that's just the lifestyle of the runaway slaves and how they had to live and survive in order to get the freedom.